Hey.
Is it working?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Yeah, I just had to wash off the fucking torture session I went through today.
A workout or something?
Well, I did that in the morning. I did what's called like a true sculpt. So when I was younger, I was force fed out of love. My grandmother loved me, so she force fed me fucking peanut butter jelly sandwiches and cookies and gave me the portions that were meant for, yeah, meant for adults. You know, you gotta finish your plate if you want your fucking butter tart. And starving children in Ethiopia that would really appreciate the fucking 20 pounds of food that you're currently being forced to eat. So anyway, all I have to say, I was a fat boy growing up, and then so you get the fat storage, midsection, chest, body, whatever, right? And with that too, you also get stretch marks. So basically, I'm on a mission to reset. So I'm trying to turn back the clock.
Mhm.
And well, so big part of that is lifestyle. So Brian Johnson's been doing a not a study, but really he's been a guinea pig for the last 2 years doing it. And he's actually shown to so the data shows he's turned back his biological clock. And you'll just have one biological clock, there's multiple. Like your heart is one, your brain's another, liver, skin, you know what I mean? Like there's different clocks.
Yeah.
So he's able to turn back the clock because of his, well, he used studies that exist that are out there that are within everybody's reach, but he's done the digging, he's done the work, and he's basically put it into practice to come up with his own program, the blueprint, something.
Yeah.
So a lot of his stuff I've already been tracking, like calorie deficiency. You need to be calorie deficient if you want to slow down the clock because when your cells divide, the telomere, the end of your DNA strands shrink, and your telomere basically programmed death. So once there's no more telomere, your cells just die, and that's old age. So our
That
cells
was
are
a big one that I heard. The
yeah,
like the but it's like it's got to be very precise calorie deficiency because I think you can if you do a little bit too much then that's bad too. And maybe that's the
yeah.
hard it's hard to like you don't know if you're doing harm or in the name of extending the life you could be shortening if you're just off by a bit or something.
I'm not sure if like if you're too low, it shortens your lifespan, but basically, like yeah, imagine it puts your system under stress when you're in starvation mode. The idea is not to go into starvation mode. So his
Yeah.
diet, what he does, so he has this 18 hours of fasting, which is a lot. I mean, I was doing 16 hours at one point. Even that was a lot. I mean, like goodbye social life. You're just drinking water
Yeah.
out at dinner time because
Yeah,
everything.
which then, like, I mean, if you have an extended life but no social life, then what's the value?
Yeah, so
There's like a trade-off
that's
somehow.
that's the big question, I guess. I'm a dude who, 5 days out of the week, 6 days out of the week, I'm cool with being super regimented and everything being efficient. I would like one day here and there to be able to relax a little bit and chill. I don't need to drink booze or have coffee. I do enjoy my lattes, but I substitute
Mm.
the decaf with tea. So I just have a tea latte,
Oh yeah.
which I enjoy very much. It's just as fucking expensive. So, I mean, there's that. So, there's switches you can make. I don't need to have booze with alcohol in it. I can just have alcohol-free booze.
Yeah.
So there's things you can do, and I can have one day where I don't do the fasting. Is that going to kill me? Absolutely not. Like it's fine.
Could be like a
It's
stress relief day too. and that's better.
Yeah. I wouldn't do like a cheat day where I eat a whole bunch of bad shit. I mean, what I do once a week is I do have chips, but I have chips that are cooked in avocado oil because vegetable oil
Yeah.
is the fucking devil. Uh, so like there are changes that I can make to be close to his blueprint lifestyle. Do I need to do the exact same thing? I mean, I could do 90% of it and have great effects for sure. Like in the morning, you have your breakfast. Well, he does like a green shake. I think he has creatine in it. So I do creatine with my lemon water and I'll do green tea, a little bit of caffeine, but natural caffeine. Green tea has a lot of good health benefits. I'll have my breakfast, which I've been actually pre-making and putting into jars. It's chia seeds, hemp seeds, flaxseed, sliced almonds, almond butter, natural almond butter, tiny bit of honey, and then frozen berries, like mixed berries, but they're not frozen by the time I eat them. So it mixes together pretty well. You got to make sure that the chia seeds are, expanded, like they're mixed properly because otherwise they're all clumped together and it's a fucking shit show, which I've been eating for the last 4 days. So, you live, you learn. But part of the reset is reversing the damage that was done to me that I had no control over, but also as a result of my service. So there was some damage done. I had some stretch marks on my tummy and body, but I got a lot more when I hit 250 because of the stress being in the military.
Mm.
So like I had a little bit of stretch marks in the belly, like I said, but then when I got 250, I have this fucking fissure that goes like right up past the belly button. Like
Mm.
it's a big one, like almost like pregnant lady impressive. And it was pretty gouged too. So um what I've done is I've used this super intense microneedling, which is like ultra thick needles, a lot of needles, a lot of stabby stab, a lot of money, a lot of pain, and a lot of
Wow.
fucking recovery time. Oh my Jesus. I've gone through 2 sessions in the last year and it actually works. The
What's it
fissure, like
doing?
so it's breaking down the scar tissue. So it's like re-injuring it at a really like down to the dermis, like it's deep because the stretch marks go right the fuck down, and it basically kind of re-traumatize it. Your body's aware there's an injury, sends the stem cells and all the repair stuff, and it like repairs
Neat.
the scar tissue. But it does so in a way where hey, I don't think it will be perfect, but my goodness, like 2 sessions in, like they're really faded. And when I used to like hang over the countertop because I've lost a lot of weight. My fucking lower tummy would hang, man. Like I was trying to do some yoga and
Wow.
my belly was like fucking hanging. I was just like, this is disgusting. It was bad. The Morpheus has tightened it right up. Stretch marks are faded greatly. There's still a little bit there. I think 1 or 2 more sessions, I'm golden. Only 2,000 more bucks, whatever. But I gotta
Yeah.
tell you, man, like that stuff matters. Like if you care about your physique and how you look, I mean, I got stretch marks on my arms. I don't mind as much. I mean, I have fuck. It's almost like art. It's like natural tattoos. Like they're
Yeah, that's what I
pretty.
would think. Like, yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think
like
they. Yeah, I don't think it's like objectively, ugly or anything. I think it's kind of normal. Like everybody's got some weird thing, and if you have like whatever thing is going on, I feel like that almost normalizes the body. Like if the body's too perfect, it looks odd.
yeah. Oh, I wish it was perfect, but yeah. So, but I have so many like going up my back, but the way it kind of goes up my traps and my lats, it's not my traps, my lats. So the way it goes up, it's kind of like how do I put it? Like vines going up. It's interesting.
Hmm.
It's not. It doesn't actually. Those ones don't bug me as much. Those ones don't bug me. The stomach one fucking aggravates me, and the ones in the inside of my leg, near the groins, they're pretty deep. I have no idea why I got those ones, but those kind of bug me because I mean they're like really gashed. They're really bad. Like when I can put my fucking finger in one, and it doesn't even feel like it's my skin. It's too soft and it really bizarre. So I'm gonna get that all mended up too. But yeah, man, I'm on this path to kind of like reset a bit. I mean, I can't get the perfect, but I can get well, damn well near it if I spend enough money. So, my
There may be like
vanity,
a like I think part of it is like got to be mental as well. Like there's some kind of mental hurdle that you could unlock to sort of like get across like a boundary where you like you sort of reach like acceptance or something like that. Like everybody's probably got some weird thing about their body that it would be like healthy to move past and reach some kind of level of like acceptance about the situation, and in doing that, they become like invincible, like whatever, because we're all going to get like old age and look weird when we're old. And if we have this like mental resiliency of like acceptance, I feel like that protects us, especially if we're living to like 120 or whatever. Like we're going to have all this like loose skin no matter what. And then
hmm,
we got to like sort of just feel healthy and happy like at that point too. So it's like preparation for that.
yeah, acceptance is for quitters. Seriously,
What
man, like
about
you
old
got,
people though? Like what do like any of these people though? Like doesn't like skin gets loose for sure when people get old. So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
how do
What do they
they?
do? You do microneedling. There's procedures you can do. You can
But even
keep
at
your
like,
body firm by like working out and actually like. So I imagine as you get older, I'm going to be going towards more just maintenance at that point. So I'm not going to be trying to like build.
Mhm.
I'm going to get to a big size. That's the idea. But then I'm just going to maintain it and try to be lean and keep things firm by doing like a lot of sets, a lot of reps. And
Yeah, that was the thing I wondered actually was like the more muscle you have, when you do lose it, it converts. It converts to like bulk. And so that
but you
was
don't
actually a thing that I wondered. Like, wouldn't it
you
be?
don't
Isn't it better to just go lean? Like, don't make any bulk because then it's harder to like maintain.
look like I'm not gonna turn into a big
Mm.
Hulk. I mean, I wish I could, but I don't think I have the genes for it. Because the issue, yeah, with that is if you don't train it,
Yeah.
you're gonna lose it, and then your body produces less of the sex hormones. Oh, actually, everything kind of gets all messed up as you get older because everything's kind of deteriorating. But everything that's needed to maintain the muscle starts to go down. I mean, that's why like creatine is like a super endorsed research supplement that helps you maintain your muscle, and everybody should take creatine as long as you're not allergic to it.
Mm.
Also, I think it actually counters my hair combating regime because like I'm doing all this shit to keep my hair, but I think creatine actually like helps you
Well,
produce more testosterone, which then can lead to dihydrotestosterone, which is
mm.
the issue. So like I'm doing all this shit to kind of like reduce my hair loss, but then I've been fucking I don't know, I'm losing it all. Like I'm doing everything you possibly can do to keep your hair with the exception of like surgery, and it's still going. Like I've finasteride, minoxidil, fucking lasers, massage, microneedling, all of it. Like fucking snake oil, positive thinking. Nothing is nothing is working. It's still going, man. Like I even just had steroid injections because I was talking to what's his lips there, a guy who specializes in hair loss, part of the perfect hair community. And I mentioned I had alopecia areata, which is like when your immune system attacks your hair follicles. I said 2011 I had it. I had an attack on my head. My whole crown went gone. It was like fucking the monks would have been proud back in the 1500s. Like it was perfect. Like I would have fit right in. And then it moved down the back of my head. and then down my back, and it ended up on my like my chest. So it moved around and shit. It was weird. But I had a super traumatic thing that happened actually in 2009. Actually, multiple traumatic things. I guess I just broke in 2011, and that's when the immune system said, "Fuck you. We're gonna start attacking shit." So I mentioned that to him, and he's like, "It's possible that you still have AA floating around, and that it might be like kind of incognito or under the surface in your scalp still." And I was like, that's weird. And he's like, if your dermatologist like recommended or offered steroid injections for your AA, why don't you try it out? So I actually booked an appointment, got seen like surprisingly quick within like a week. And she pumped me full of fucking steroids in all my bald spots. So we'll see what happens in 2 months. And then she also prescribed me dutasteride instead of finasteride because I said finasteride doesn't work and the window is closed. Because there's a time horizon for every single therapy, and I'm way past finasteride, and obviously it's not working because I'm still fucking losing my hair. So she's like, "Well, the next best thing, the best thing, the all-time best thing is finasteride, and here's a lower dose, but you take it every day, it's gonna have the effects. So it shouldn't affect my libido. Shouldn't. Knock on wood." That's fucking funny.
Is there
Knock on, get it?
like
Knock
who
on
is
wood.
the
Libido. Oh
knock
my
on
god.
wood?
Did that just go over your head?
No, yeah.
Because that was
No.
really.
When you repeated it, it landed.
It's good. And here's the best part. I have all the prescriptions that have been prescribed to me from specialists. None of them are covered. Even my fucking antibiotics were not covered by Blue Cross. They don't want to
Yeah.
cover anything that's name brands prescribed by the specialist. Dutasteride, the one that was prescribed to me, was actually covered. I was blown away, like jaw hit the ground. I was like, really? I don't need to pay for this? Fucking, what are you saying?
Just like who are like there's doctors that will like specialize in like hair loss. Like I guess, it's like a like plastic surgery and all that is like sort of a cosmetic thing and it's doctors doing it. But it's like, isn't it totally adjacent to like it's sort of part of like someone's like self-image or something. So I guess it has like a positive health effect, if people feel good about themselves. But it's weird that like you can like walk into like a doctor's office and they'll like treat hair loss as if it's like a disease or something that needs to be like addressed, when it's like it's totally adjacent to like you can like it's totally uncorrelated with like length of life or health or something. It's just weird. It's like a weird cosmetic issue, like that like you could also solve it wearing like a toupee or something like that. Like it would be like indistinguishable almost in that sense. And so it's weird that like there's some kind of emphasis put on like growing one's own hair like in the head and there's like medication stuff to like deal with it when like the outcome is just like very subjective almost.
Well, I keep saying to myself, what the fuck? It's absolutely bullshit that we're losing our hair. Like, it's garbage. It just crushes men and our confidence. Maybe there's a small percentage of men that don't give a fuck. I don't know.
There are
I know.
men, like some men, they're like dressed like super fancy, and they're good at like picking like suits and colors that and like glasses and everything that like work well with like a perfectly bald head, and then they look like really like checked out somehow. Like, and it's just like a illusion from like all the like a well chosen fashion or something. Like they look like really clean or something like that. So I wonder, like, that's like a weird angle where it's like if you could go see like a fashion professional, and they would like tailor your whole outfit to like work with the fact that you're bald or like maybe even turn you into a guy who like wears hats or like fancy hats or something. And then it's like you're just this really like fashionable dude that the baldness just works for because everything else is coordinated or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get to that point. I don't. If I would go bald, I want it to be because I choose to go bald. The fact that I don't have a choice in the matter is the most aggravating part to all of this. Is that, and it changes your appearance. Your hair changes your appearance greatly, for sure. Like I got a big head. There's no getting around that. And my hair was really good at masking that. I mean, you think of Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z, man. Like, fuck. Like I had his hairline for the longest time, and it was pretty cool. But Vegeta has a big head. Come on, for his body, his hair does well to cover it up. Anyway, I I'm not a quitter, and that's I'm gonna fucking fight and throw whatever resources I have at this until I come up with a solution. And yeah, I know a lot of men are struggling with this. I mean, just to add to it, I also got rosacea. So I mean, like fucking the genes. I don't know. I should have a talk with my parents if I was actually talking to them, because my God, it's been a pain in the ass. I've had to go through laser sessions to reverse the damage because like it's a disease. Like rosacea is a disease too, and your little veins there, what are they called there?
Oh, cap capillaries or
Capillaries.
something.
Yeah, they come close to the surface of your skin. I don't know if it's because of inflammation or autoimmune. There's different reasons. There's autoimmune, inflammatory. There's mites that cause like little pimple type things, which then immediately scar and they're fucking aggravating. And then there's autoimmune. So I think I have all three. Again, courtesy of my service, and um, so yeah, 5 sessions of like laser, pretty torturous, and I kind of have a pink hue. Is much better now. Like my face is actually normal looking. Last year, this time it was Red Lobster and absolutely like brutally painful. So yeah, I mean, if you don't take care of your body, it's gonna manifest some shit, and it's not gonna be pretty.
Yeah, it would
But
be
yeah, that
yeah, like, the mental health angle is kinda like, I guess if there's enough little minor inconveniences and it's weighing on your mood overall, and that mood leads you to, get less exercise or something, then yeah, it could be like a downer, and so patching these things up maybe gives you the confidence to, like, get the rest of your diet in check and stuff like that. But
oh
that's where the
fuck
real
yeah,
effect, Yeah.
yeah. There's a direct correlation between like how I feel about my body and my looks and my mood and what I want to do, and it leads to depression and
Mhm.
hopelessness. Um, I don't know for whatever fucking reason. Like sometimes like I poke around my gut and I'm like, yeah, I feel trim. And then sometimes I wake up and I'm like,
Oh,
what the
yeah.
fuck happened? Like
Yeah.
I can grab onto my belly and like severe, like huge water retention and I feel like
Yeah.
shit. And I have no idea what's changing because my diet is consistent and it's super healthy.
Mhm.
And I do have
Yeah, that
quite the
is strange.
fasting window. Yeah,
That
I
happens to
don't,
me, yeah. That
yeah.
does yeah, it's weird too because I know that certain foods, like, make me feel, like, bloated, and that'll be a cause. Like, sometimes, I'll wake up, I'm slightly dehydrated or something, and I feel really good, and then just, like, water, milk, cheese, like, different stuff like that, and then I'll be, like, really bloated again. And, yeah,
Well,
it's,
there's your issue, the
weird.
dairy.
Yeah, for me, I think it's revolving around dairy and chocolate and stuff like that. It just makes my stomach, like, swell or something like that.
Yeah, for the chocolate, fuck chocolate, go with cacao or 100% pure stuff. Go for the pure. Not cocoa, cacao, and for the cut the fucking dairy out. Everybody has a dairy intolerance to
Yeah,
some extent. Like it doesn't make any sense that we consume the fucking milk of a cow.
right.
It's
I do
stupid.
oat milk now a lot. I don't know
Oat
what's
milk
in
has
oat
its
milk.
oat milk has too many
Yeah.
sugars.
Oh,
It's too much carbs. Go for almond
mm.
milk or
Oh, yeah,
what was it?
soy or
And
something.
no, God no.
Oh. That's
Actually,
it.
jury's kind of out on that one. I don't know about
Yeah.
soy anymore.
Soy
There's
tastes
good,
kinda
there's
bad.
bad. Yeah, it's macadamia nut milk. That is fucking heavenly. Costco sometimes has it.
Mm.
I don't know why they don't have it all the time. It drives me insane because like I go there and I see it and like I need to buy like
Yeah,
4 fucking cartons of it from now on because
yeah.
they won't have it for a period of time and then they'll have it.
What do
I
you
don't know if
put
it's
it in
seasonal.
coffee or like your tea lattes?
God, just bathe in it is so good. Like it's
But
everything.
what, there's no sugar in it or not so much sugar?
It's perfectly balanced.
Okay.
It's like almond milk, but tastier.
Huh.
Yeah, almond milk. So here's the thing too. There's a lot of shit almond milk out there too. Like there's a lot of shit alternative milks out there. You know, it doesn't need to be fortified. God, we take a multivitamin for that stuff. Doesn't need to be fortified. Doesn't need all this extra shit added in. Doesn't need sugars added in. No, it doesn't need any of that stuff. But these companies will add a whole bunch of crap to it. Not required. The least amount of ingredients are best. Oat milk periodically is a nice treat. It really is. But just a lot of sugar, natural sugars, lots of carbs. If you are going to have oat milk, make sure you pair it with a protein. Otherwise, you'll have a cortisol release.
Yeah.
So, add it to have it with a protein shake. Actually, I think oat milk in a protein shake is a good balance. I think that's good.
Mm.
Almond milk though, for like lattes, whatever else, macadamia milk's actually the best way to go, but oat milk's no. Almond milk is good for that stuff and for like my breakfast and all that shit. But dairy, man, like cow's milk, cheese, I know it's heavenly. Mm-mm. Like there's such thing as like a low FODMAP diet. I don't remember what the acronym stands for, but basically people with IBS, yours truly, if we want to reduce our symptoms, we should cut the foods that ferment and cause other issues. So basically, everything that's enjoyable, cut it out of your life because, yeah, I never thought broccoli and cauliflower were culprits. They are, but guess who still eats it? I do because I
Mm.
cannot. I love broccoli and cauliflower too much to not eat it.
Broccoli is good, yeah.
Mhm. And like it's part of the blueprint diet too. The buddy eats Brian Johnson like it's every day he crushes it. So I'm gonna model that diet. I'm gonna need broccoli. Yeah,
Also
man. So,
with that guy,
huh?
like he's like really like chiseled or something in shape, that guy like Brian Johnson. And like
Yeah.
why, what is the, like, does it scientifically say that like being chiseled adds some value, or
Well,
like
it's just
could it possibly be better to have like a little layer of fat like around, just for, maybe that's better, like helps you live longer or something? Like it's just weird that like it's like the way it correlates. You should also look incredibly like attractive, like being like chiseled and shredded. And that is like, is that scientifically like the ideal, or is he just doing that for fun or something? Like,
oh, I have no
it's
idea.
like
I
kind
have
of
no
funny.
idea. But if you're eating
It's like that's the
perfectly,
suspicious part, is like it's like follow this long life plan, and but imagine, like, because imagine the answer was like it's better to get a bit fat and look weird, and that was the true like ideal answer, then like no, it wouldn't be like a thing you could sell to people, like they want to know that like they can live long and be like shredded also.
yeah, all the fat people want to be accepted and like it's okay to be fat. You're beautiful fat, and it's my body type. I'm big bone. Blah 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 blah. It's an excuse to be lazy or just to fucking settle with how they are and not put in the effort. Because they try and they give up, and then there's all these different fads and diets out there. They don't know what the right answer is, and they give up and they're like, I should just accept myself for who I am. Fuck the world and fuck the media, and so different takes on that. And I'll circle back in a second. I'll just say fat and an excess amount of it on our bodies equals bad. Okay, there's a direct
Mm.
correlation between extra fat on our midsection and heart disease. Like it increases our risk factor for men and for women. No, it's bad. It's also extra weight that our body's carrying, so extra wear and tear on our joints. So yeah, I know like fat storage is good from like an evolution point of view, where you might not have food in a day of hunter gathering foraging when we had to gorge ourselves, which is what we do. It's in our programming to do so. We come across a lot of carbohydrates, like ripe fruit. We gorge ourselves before the fucking chimpanzees eat it on us. we put on that extra weight because we don't know the next opportunity we're going to have to be able to do that. So we get a little layer of fat on us to, give us that cushion, literally like the cushion, but like the padding in case we starve. And yeah, that makes sense. And our bodies are meant for that. But with the way, like the amount of food that we have around us and the fact that people gorge themselves with bad fats and bad foods and the unhealthy fat that we're putting on our bodies, like there's the external fat, like on our extremities, but then there's also visceral fat that people don't see, which is super bad. So what Brian Johnson's doing is like he's eating perfect diet, calorie. So if you're eating a calorie deficient diet, I see your body as cannibalizing all the excess fat that it has in time. And I
Yeah,
see
that part
that,
makes sense.
yeah, and
Yeah,
I,
to
yeah,
control it precisely, you can't have the access. Yeah.
yeah. So I see like that being just a normal byproduct of what he's doing. Plus, he's doing high interval intensity training in the morning combined with strength. So he's getting that growth hormone release, the extra testosterone. So, building up the muscles. And the more muscles you have, they are hungry machines. They want more calories. So
Mm.
yeah, it's like it's an interesting science because the more muscle you have, the more calories you require. If you don't have enough calories, then your muscles are going to starve and they won't be able to grow, or you won't be able to gain muscle. But you don't get any better with your workouts if you can't grow the muscle or adapt to what it is. Oh, maybe not. You get leaner and more efficient. Body just that's how it works. Doesn't need to put on size, become more efficient. So processing. With him, I don't know exactly what his workouts are, except high intensity followed after, and then strength training. I don't know if he's trying to put on muscle. I don't imagine so, because I imagine you're going to need more calories to maintain those muscles, and a greater calorie consumption means that you're shortening your lifespan. I think it's sort of counterintuitive to bodybuild if you want to prolong your life.
Yeah.
Interesting deduction. So
It is.
bodybuilders,
I've heard it's stressful on the heart, like just lifting weight in general, like puts
huh,
it hardens the veins, like in the chest and stuff.
hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna look more into that because you can still get chiseled doing bodyweight exercises,
Yeah.
moving your body around and just like climbing trees and shit, or like we're climbers. Fucking, it's so hard to maintain doing pull-ups. My God, I still can't get past the 5 rep limit. Like I'm stuck at 5 reps. I can't seem to get past that, no matter how many days I go.
Just hang from the bar.
I do, but my fingers give out. I got stubby little fingers. I can only hold for like
Yeah,
35
fingers are
seconds.
a really key part. I think finger strength just takes like time to build, and that's the limiting factor because the fingers will
Yeah.
just slip off. Yeah.
Now I got like a death grip on my hands now. Like they're pretty tough, but I can still only. And the other thing too is if I shred 30 pounds, well, that's gonna help my pull-ups. And so it all just benefits. Like the more weight I lose, the more I can lift my body weight, which is what I want to do. Is like I want to do body weight exercises and stability exercises. So everything will become easier if I lose the weight. So
Mhm.
well, so the true sculpting thing that I did, um, really expensive, ultra expensive, and it's a one-time session, and it basically goes in like you put these pads on you, and you pay like $500 a pad, and I had 11. I had two taken off actually because it was not required, the other two. And you go through, I don't know if it's 15 minutes or 20 minutes of intense heat, like hot tub, highest temperature before you get burned kind of heat. And that's like what it's like throughout until the final 6 minutes. And the final 6 minutes was hell on earth. I wanted to die. Like it's pretty much like having a fucking raptor eat your guts. Like it was the worst goddamn feeling I've ever had in my life. I've done some intense ab workouts. Like I have done extreme workouts. I have had extreme pain, This was the most grueling thing I've ever experienced.
Huh.
And it was 6 minutes of hell. Quite literally 6 minutes of
Caused
hell.
by so the pads themselves heat up and give
Yeah,
off heat.
it was such an intense energy. It was like, as the owner put it, because I have the relationship with the owner and she's like working directly on me and she's had many patients and is trained in it. But she's actually warned me and was like talking about it. I was like, hey, I don't have anxiety, but you're starting to create a little bit of fear. She's like, I need you to be aware of what you're getting into because I want you just, it's gonna feel like it's gonna feel like hell, but you can't stop because this is the process. She's like, I've had people go through it and they were begging me to kill not to kill them, but they were begging me to turn it off and like in agony and like like swearing and cussing and like it was
Huh.
the way she put it too, and I kind of visualized it was when I was going through the session. So I got to that point and I was like, okay, fucking 1 minute. I'm like, oh my God, I can't imagine going through 5 more minutes. Every muscle in my body, I don't know why, but I tightened it, like almost grinding my teeth. Absolute hell. And like I tried to go to a happy place. It was on fire. Whatever happy place I had was fucking on fire, man. God, it was so grueling. So
And the
grueling. And
last why did you highlight the last 6 minutes? Like, just because it
it
was
went
just heat again, but it was, like,
full
continuing,
fucking
or
tilt. What full tilt. Like it was
Mm.
already hot tub scalding beforehand, but then the last 6 minutes it goes full tilt on you to do the final burn or whatever.
Huh. And so what is the point of that? What does that do?
So the idea is so it basically kills your fat. Now there's cool sculpting, but it can leave you deformed. Like there's there's some hate when it comes to the cool sculpting. This is basically that it kills the fat cells in your body or over a span of 3 months dissolves it.
So
So
after
there's
the
about
one session, they just, what,
one
die
session.
after? So
Yeah,
they're dead now and they just get
they're
dissolved?
they're dead. Yeah, all the
Huh.
fat in my midsection is dead. So and my body's now going to be processing it and getting rid of it. And yeah, the idea is so if I start stuffing my face like a maniac and go back to how I was, where I was fucking animal, eating everything in sight, or even like when I was in the military and eating all the fucking Oreo cookies in the command post because I was sleep deprived and stressed out of my head. If I do that again, I can put it all back on. But the other treatment that she was doing before, like a toner type thing, what it does, it shrunk the fat cells. It didn't actually kill them,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that worked. It actually worked. I got really
Huh.
super lean. It was really cool. And then I stuffed my face in the summertime because I was super stressed. And I got a theory about that, which she challenged, but I'll say it anyway in a second. So, yeah, in 3 months' time, basically gonna be able to see my abs. I also will be
Mm.
training, but this is to get rid of all that excess fat that I've acquired in my life that continues to fucking crush my soul because like I don't even know what goes on, man. But like I said, if I puff up, it kills my mood for the day. Just kills it. I feel like shit.
Mm.
My pants, like my my pants fit like 32, 32 most of the time. But when I puff up, my waist, my pudge goes over, and I look like shit. And I fucking hate it, man. And it's like I don't get why it goes from lean to that so quickly. I it feels like a snap of a finger.
Yeah.
Maybe I ate too much for 2 days, but how quickly I appear to put on weight and how long it takes for me to lose it, it's just again soul crushing.
Yeah.
So I this is gonna solve that, and this is part of the patchwork. So yeah, like now I feel comfortable in my clothes, and I go to the gym and I can see my abs. I don't have to worry about when I'm doing a pull up, my belly showing, right? Like, and that it's like fucking pudge. I don't have to worry about that anymore. And so I can focus
Mm.
on the games. I can focus on being present and actually doing the exercises instead of being self conscious. So it's going to be a positive feedback loop, and I think it has to start somewhere. I mean, it
Yeah.
starts with diet and weight loss for sure, but the exercises, in order to be motivated to go, you got to see the gains, and if you're covered by the padding, that's tough. Like, you really need some serious willpower to keep going if you don't see the gains.
Right.
The gains are what it's all about, man. Like when I take my
I guess you
shirt
could
off,
feel. Can you feel the gains?
mm,
Not as much as visual, I guess.
I'm kind of like retracing some of my steps from last year, so I'm behind. So I've taken steps back. So I'll answer that in about 3 months,
Yeah.
because by then I should have some serious gains because I'm
I guess the
following
gain,
up.
the ultimate gain is like, if you go for a hike and you feel good the whole time, like hiking, that's really the being in the shape that counts is just being, you can sort of hike as you would want and not feel burnt. Then that's like a
Yeah,
nice gain.
and that's where I'd like to be because I want to be on the trails all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no,
Yeah. It's cool. That sounds pretty
I'm
positive. Sounds
yeah,
expensive, but overall it's sounding positive as a
yeah,
result.
but I'm budgeting 30K for my project. So I'm getting a payout from my service from all the injuries, and I bitch about it not being enough. There's no amount of money that can cover the damage when you have a lifelong injury, mental or physical. Sorry, no money really makes up for. But I'm gonna up to 30K, maybe a bit more. 'Cause I'm also considering my hair in this equation too. So
Mm.
I'm gonna do the body work. I'm gonna try to get back before the damage was done, so I can be comfortable in my skin. And anybody who says I'm fine the way I am and fuck what everybody else thinks, it's all bullshit. We all care about what other people think. Beautiful people go further. Fruit and psychology. We don't need to like it, but it's fact. It's just how it is. I don't think we should let ourselves go. I think there's problems if that happens. I mean, there's health issues that can happen. And why do we not want to be attractive? We don't need to be the most attractive, but we need to take care of ourselves. And anybody who says otherwise, they're obviously not aware of the fucking diseases that can take them because I am aware. Trust me. I didn't take care of myself and it caught up with me and I got really sick. So, and I'm just thankful I didn't like get fucking diabetes or anything like that. And there's people my age have diabetes and people my age who are, well, with diabetes getting their fucking legs chopped off. Like it's
Uh-huh.
crazy.
Yeah.
And that cascades into a whole bunch of other issues. Once you get diabetes, you don't get that shit under control, your life expectancy is dropping way down.
Right.
Like we're surrounded by toxins, we're surrounded by poison, and big foods is just happy to pump us full of the shit, and the big pharma's there to clean up with the symptoms or deal with the symptoms. But really, I think the way to get away from it all, to be healthy, is knowledge, being aware of all the hazards that are out there, all the toxins. And then there's also environment too, and changing our environment. And I've been actively doing that for over a year and a half, trying to get out of the military. And today, I think is the day I finally got traction.
That's
I
nice.
got a call from my contact. He's been super busy. He understands where I'm at. He's in the same place. He's trying to get the fuck out after 30 years of serving.
Wow.
He switched over to the medical side. I won't name names, but he's done too. He had the realization he's done, but he's been working 3 days, 2 days for himself. Shorter weeks. He just can't handle the pressure anymore, and
Right.
so he's super behind, super behind. And so I've sent him many emails, and I totally understanding. I know how bogged down they are, but I had the chain of command breathing down my neck like 3 times because they want me to come back to work. And I was just like, I can't. I can't put on a uniform. I can't. I can't go in that fucking building anymore, guys. It's causing me to
Yeah.
have anxiety attacks. Can't do it. Won't do it. Done. I'll be AWOL. Actually, I'm technically AWOL. As of before today, I was AWOL. I was AWOL since the
Yeah.
22nd of February. I didn't fucking go in.
Mm.
Didn't take leave. I'm just like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, that was very similar to where I was at mentally. Uh, I was like sort of I was seeing like a therapist like through the base, and I really didn't want to like put on the uniform, go in. Like I didn't want to like be part of the whole thing, and I was really trying to get out, yeah, too. And it was like mentally affecting me, and they were like dragging their feet about letting me out. So yeah, I
Yeah,
can relate to that stuff.
it's exactly the same thing here. Yeah, you get it. Yeah, I mean, for me, it
Surprising
got to
that
the
a
point.
guy that's been in like 30 years, or that other person like 30 years, and they're still trying to lock them in. Like for me, I was locked in because I hadn't technically like paid back, the schooling. Like they give me the free schooling at RMC, and I had to like sort of do a certain number of years. And I wanted to get out like 1 year early from that, and that was why it was rough for me, I thought. But to hear that like a guy at 30 years and they're still trying to like keep him in is strange,
Oh
you know.
no,
Yeah.
so he moved to the civvy side, and he's do it. I don't know if he's a public servant or how that works in the medical
Mm.
side, but it was actually I don't know if he had that heart to heart with his doctor because he's talking to his doctor, but the doctor's like, yeah, it's time to go. It's
Oh
time's
yeah.
up. Yeah, too much stress. You've had the realization that you're done. He's like he said that he drove home and he didn't remember how he got there because his mind is so
Yeah, I guess that's like,
overwhelmed
yeah,
all the time.
early sign of, yeah.
No, I'm not sure if it's dementia or anything else like that, but also just being extremely stressed, it kills your short-term memory. And I've been there too, where yeah, I don't remember going home. This was back when I was
Mhm.
back in BC, 2015, 14, and there's a few times I actually wanted to drive into the fucking pole, leaving work because I just
Yeah.
had enough. I was actually about to turn the car into the pole, and the thoughts have crossed my
Right.
mind a few times. And there were times
Yeah,
where I show up
I
at
was glad that I don't drive cars because I felt being in a car would be too easy to do something like that. So I was like,
yeah,
at least I don't have
yeah.
to have that like a literal wheel in my hands.
We have in our minds like most people who want to live will not deliberately drive off the road into an obstacle or off a bridge.
Mm.
And I started to challenge those barriers in my mind for self-preservation. I started to think about them. It's like, what if? Like, the restraint that we have, like you want to live, so you're not going to turn your steering wheel to go off the bridge. You won't do it. Like you can't do it. Like, unless your tire gives out, like you're not going to try to go over the edge. And I was starting to challenge those
Mm.
anyway. People don't think about that kind of stuff, but I was. And yeah, there were times where I was showing up at home and I didn't know how I got there. Been there, totally get that. So yeah, his time's up. Just like my time's up. For me though, I had to get to the point where my face was red lobster and I couldn't get out of bed because my IBS was so bad. And then not to even, I'm going to compound that with my degenerative disc disease and my cervical and lumbar spine and my arthritis in my shoulders and my fucking knees and when you start to add everything together, it's like, God, how do I function? And my friend who was a physiotherapist, actually, there's two of them going through training, him and his lady friend. This was back in 2013. 2013, okay? They both worked on me at the same time, and they were just like, dude, how the fuck do you function? Like we were poking around they obviously weren't going up my asshole or touching my bits or anything like that, but they've touched everything else, and they're like, we've assessed you, and we're like, how the hell are you even functioning? The way your muscles are, your injuries, like, and that was 2013, man. They're like,
Yeah.
things are way off with you, and they beat the shit out of me. They beat the fascia and the trigger. They trigger pointed me that. I had trigger points all over, and they were hitting them up, and my God, it was. So that was probably the second worst experience next to the one I had today, because that was hell on earth too. They beat the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, they're holding me hostage essentially. But today, when you have enough, when you get to the point that I'm at, if you care about your life and you want to live and you know there's something better out there, and once you realize what the problem is, and that's like the military, the environment, the culture, the people,
Mhm.
once you know in your heart that that's bad for you, yeah, there's nothing that can make me go back. Not a goddamn thing. The police will be knocking
Yeah,
on my
that's fair.
door. I was talking to my buddy Mike, and I was like, man, they come and arrest me. I don't even care. No stress. If they throw me in prison, I don't care. Better to be in prison for AWOL than to put on the uniform and go back in again. They try to fucking put the uniform on me while I'm in prison, I'm taking it off and I'm naked. Like that's where I'm at. Like there's no pride anymore.
Yeah, I mean, if it's the whatever the lesser of two evil, or not evils, but like the whichever is the better option of two bad options, it's like you gotta pick the one that keeps you alive, essentially.
Yeah, no stress either. Like they wanted
Yeah.
to come for me, they could, but they never did. So it really wasn't bugging me. But then it's like, yeah, I can actually AWOL. Wow, jeez. I'm taking this really, and I mean, I'm really serious about this. I've been saying over and over again, I cannot serve. I cannot do it because even getting an
Mhm.
email from my boss would trigger a stress response,
Yeah.
turn into anxiety, and then fucking followed by a panic attack and depression. It's like, no, no more. I'm like just the kind of people there's some good people in the military. I got quite a few friends. I mean, you're one of them. You ended up being a good friend.
Yeah.
There's some good people in there, but there's so many bad bullies and shit people. And I remember like one I worked for who I made their life easy. I did a good job serving them as their second. And I didn't show up to like this conference because I'm really
Yeah.
not doing well. So I'm like taking a knee. This is already starting to happen. Like it was last fall or last summertime. I'm already like starting to take a knee and like part time. I'm not able to work as much, and I couldn't do the I couldn't be in front of the community anymore because it's just too goddamn negative and critical.
Mhm.
And this was once my boss and someone who I took care of, made sure that they were taken care of, that they didn't burn themselves into the ground because I was their second. And instead of asking me like, "Hey, Justin, is everything okay?" Like, I haven't seen you at the conference. Both her and her fucking husband, because they're both in together, lay into me, basically guilting
Yeah.
me and judging me for not showing up to this thing. Never asked how I was doing or anything, just fucking laid into me. And I was like, this is what's wrong with this organization. These people don't deserve to be leaders. They do not deserve to have troops under them. They're just bad people.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
So
I feel it's impossible to build up any sort of like benefit of the doubt with anyone. Like no matter how good you do, the second they believe you've done anything like against them, they just treat you like you're the enemy or something, and they don't factor in the fact that like you've always been like upfront and honest and stuff. So it just feels like you can never get to a place where you feel safe. It's like always everyone's always like it just feels like people are going to attack you without any warning all the time. And
yeah,
that's
jack
it's
you up,
like
or
terribly negative environment, yeah.
yeah, yeah. I've realized how it shaped my personality and
Mhm.
how I navigate the world. And I have been actively trying to break through that. Um, I'm taking my mask off. I'm showing my authentic self. I say what I think. I'm transparent now. And if I don't like something, I don't like it. If I don't want to do something or I think something's bullshit, I'm gonna just say it. This is fucking bullshit. Like we're being gouged here, like with the prices or whatever. Like let's walk. Like if I get poor
Mhm.
customer service when I go into a restaurant, or like I go to like well, I was going into a what do they call, like not a fast food place, but sort of like a shawarma
Oh, yeah.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had some shitty customer service. I had some fuckers butt me, and I was just like, you know what? Fuck this place. And it wasn't like fuck you people and fuck you for butting me. It was like, fuck this place. I don't want to be here. And I was like, sorry, this might be embarrassing for you, my friend, but let's go cross the street. We shouldn't, I shouldn't have to go into an establishment and feel any stress at all. I'm paying money for a product or a service. I shouldn't be stressed and I shouldn't be allowed to be, I shouldn't let anybody treat me poorly. And I was just like,
Yeah.
fuck it, I'm out. And I'm vocal. Like, I'm just like, no, fuck it. I'm not rude to them. I'm just like, I'm done with this experience.
Yeah, it's
Over.
mostly it's like self-care first. Like just do whatever takes care of yourself, and like there's no need to like project onto anybody else, but just like, make a decision that gets you to a place that's more positive for you, and that's kind of the priority, and that's like a nice mindset.
And some people would be embarrassed to even think about doing something like that. I'm like, nah, not at all. It's not that I don't care about what other people think. I do, but I don't let it change who I am. So
Right.
if I'm being my true self, I'm mindful that, I don't want to make other people uncomfortable with my negativity, and I want to be a positive person overall. So I am mindful of that. And I want to bring positivity forward. Now, if I'm uncomfortable in a situation and I say, well, fuck this place, and I leave, that is 1 second of making someone feel uncomfortable who's probably eating their meal, not paying attention, whatever. That's different. And if they're going to judge me for that, well, then I don't fucking care. I don't know them anyway. But
Mhm.
I'm not going to allow how people think or the potential of them jumping up in my face to shape my behavior. I'm going to be my true, authentic self because I want to be happy. And I think Gandhi puts it as like happiness is when what you think and what you say and what you do, they all align. And I want to be that. I want to be happy, man. I do. So I want to be a good person and through my words and through my actions, be a good person. And then like I'm not gonna allow someone to shit on me or to wear me down to the point where I'm a husk of who I was again. Like I'm not gonna let that happen because it gets in the way of me being a good person. Because when that happens to us, we start going to self-preservation mode. We start to see the world in a negative light. We start checking the lock 3 times on our door
Right.
before we shut
Mhm.
down for the night, both on our outside door and then on our bedroom, and then, like have the gun on the fucking nightstand. Because, if we let negativity consume us and we see the world as a negative place and humanity is bad, gonna start making us paranoid. It's gonna start making us do these extremes. Like that's where I was at that point. Now I just check the door once instead of 3 times. It's a big difference for me. I'm actually proud of that.
Mm. Yeah.
The axe, I've sold it. I don't have an axe in my room anymore. I had an axe in case someone
That's
kicked
good.
down my door because I would throw it at them. I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
Seriously, I used to have a weapon beside me. I'm relaxing. I'm not becoming a complacent idiot where I can be taken advantage of. I'm still going to lock my door at night, but I'm not going to be as paranoid about it because I'm not going to see humanity as a whole as bad, but there's a few bad apples, and you got to be careful with those guys. There's a
Yeah, it
book I'm
makes sense.
reading called Humanity, and
Right.
it basically shows you examples of where people have come together during extreme hardship during World War II, and there's other examples. I just got into it.
Right.
And that just gave me the awareness, like, maybe inherently deep down, we're not all bad. It's just we need some external challenge to bring us all together.
Yeah,
Because
that's
then
very true.
otherwise, Mhm. Well, it's shown through actual reports that the bombings, when Germany
Uh-oh.
did it to the UK and UK did it to Germany, it instead of like decimating people and like destroying their will, it made the people come together and become stronger. Instead of everybody raping and pillaging each other, it made the people tougher, harder, and more
Yeah.
cooperative. Did I say all this already before?
This
Um,
specifically, I don't think so.
it
Yeah.
actually prolonged the war because it caused the economies to boom, increased productivity. I think it was by a factor of 14. I don't remember these precise numbers now. I used to. Over 10, by a factor of 10 for the tanks and for the aircraft. Over 10. Times 10. So it prolonged the war greatly because of the bombings. The bombings had the opposite effect.
Oh.
And it wasn't a lesson that was learned when the US went to Vietnam, and that's why the US lost in Vietnam. I don't know if they say they won, but they definitely did not win. They just fucking pissed off a whole bunch of people and had a lot of Americans murdered, killed for no reason. Fucking useless war. But the bombings did not help. It just made those people extra hard. Where was
Yeah,
I
it
going with
does.
that?
Just I feel like it makes sense, intuitive sense, kind of like that. Especially in a situation where there's bombs or something like that. Like you want to be able to rely on other people to take care of you, and then so you got to return the favor, and so it's just like everybody helping everybody, so that when they need help, they can cash in the favor. And there's like it creates like this web or network.
I think it ties into our deep desire to want to be useful and want to belong.
Yeah.
And it gives us a reason to do that. I mean, when there's crisis and people need help, it's an opportunity to shine and to come together. And I think it really like it taps into our programming. I
Right.
mean, I dislike our programming and I wish I can override it, but it's the one thing about it, it's predictable and it's in all of us. Okay, not the sociopaths or and psychopaths, but the normal people, the programming is there. And well, what's normal? Because then you got people with
Yeah.
autism, Asperger's. Now it's starting to is their programming the same or are they defective? And I see defective in like that we have the original programming, and I'm thinking of evolution here, and I'm hurting people's feelings. Anybody ever listens to this, but like we have deviated from natural selection a long time ago. And if we had natural selection, I don't think a lot of these people would have survived. So deviating from natural selection and moving off into, everybody is able to live, and that's great. But I think there's some changes to the program with these people. I've never looked at any studies. This is just a thought. So yeah, probably offensive, but everybody can admit that they are very different and they have special needs, additional needs than people who don't have their diagnosis. So when I say it's in our programming, I think of, I almost said normal people again, most people, because not everybody has these um, not
Yeah.
issues. What's the word? What's
Yeah, I
the
guess, well,
correct
some like
word
a
I'm looking for here?
well, I feel like there's some kind of like
Conditions.
there's like a mental diversity, like a neurodiversity sort of thing. Like people are very neurodiverse, and then
Hmm.
but then also like the problems of like modern problems are kind of complex, and so it's like advantageous to come at it from many different angles. And so I feel like there's some advantage, like maybe as a tribe, there's like an advantage. Like not everyone can like fend for themselves in natural selection, but by like this physically stronger people in the tribe like taking care of the others, you then can solve like more like a greater scope of problems can be solved in different ways from different perspectives. And maybe
Oh,
there is like a tribe, like the tribe will win if versus like if there's another tribe where everyone thinks the same way, they're susceptible to like one strategic maneuver against them, but there's more
I
like
like that.
resiliency or something. Yeah.
And you just gave me this crazy idea too. People with like Asperger's or people who are autistic, they tend to have, well, not all of them, I don't know, the high functioning ones.
Mhm.
They have a focus. They become like absolutely brilliant
Yeah.
in one. Our
Yeah.
society tends to value specialists, and we're willing to overlook social skills and shit if the person is gifted, genius. Like we actually value performance and specialists greatly. We really do.
Yeah. Almost to
Maybe
where it's problem almost. Yeah.
Hmm. But maybe these conditions are the result of our society and how we've evolved.
Oh yeah, like
Now,
selection. Yeah.
yeah, well, civilization is relatively new and it takes, billions of years to evolve. But I'm wondering if like this is just a slight change that's happened because we value specialists. No idea. Or just the
Yeah.
fact that we're so accommodating that these conditions are allowed to propagate and that because, again, natural selection, maybe these individuals would be outcasted or they're not fitting, they're the village idiot, or they're just, they don't fit the mold, so they're cast to the side and they don't have the social skills to get back in. And so they freeze to death outside. I don't know. Like, I think of like a monkey. There was a documentary that I saw where the monkey was, part of this troop, but he, I don't know what was going on with him. He was off and he was out on the outskirts, but it was a cold night. And if he didn't come back into the group, he would have frozen to death.
Mm.
So it's like he needed to like caress or like show affection or do grooming or whatever to try to be accepted. And if you don't know those social skills to come in and be accepted into a group and you're alone and off to the side and you fucking freeze to death. So like I do wonder like natural selection days where that was super important. If you didn't fit the mold, you'd be just kicked off to the side. You just wouldn't survive. You'd starve to death because we didn't have all the tech that we had today and things weren't as easy. So I think
Yeah.
maybe because the way our society is and how everything is basically just automated and made easy to allow for specialists, because all of our troubles of like food and whatever else is taken care of. All we need to do is offer a service, be paid. So it's like whatever service we provide, we're compensated. Our time is compensated with money, which then takes care of any and everything that we need so that we can then focus our energy onto our specialty. And the more specialized we are, the more money we get, ideally, if we know what we're worth. And then, the more things or the better quality things that we can have. So it frees us up to specialize. And that's how our civilization, that's where we're going with capitalism. That's where we've gone. So it's interesting. I do wonder if these conditions are allowed to exist because of capitalism, because of our society, and then they're also, they're sort of a need. Like it's a good thing to have these hyper focused people because you
So
have
far,
to be, yeah,
it's getting to a point though where it's
because
questionable these
you
days.
have to be specialized to be valued, and you really got to be focused on something that you're interested in because there's so much now. I can't even begin to keep track. I mean,
Yeah.
just trying to scrape the surface of the world of crypto. I'm always so overwhelmed, I lose focus immediately. It's like,
Yeah.
what do I want to do? Like, there's people doing airdrops, there's people doing NFTs, and it's just like, oh my God, these things are like, you're gonna need like a good solid year in each of them. And by then, there's gonna be 100,000 more blockchains or projects going on, or this and that. I can't keep up. It's grown exponentially since the when I first started hearing about crypto, and
Mm.
so it's just like, okay, I have a couple crypto assets. I'm gonna hold on to them, diamond hands. Yeah, it's I know some jargon and pretend I'm cool.
Yeah.
But outside of that,
It's the way to do it.
I can't keep up with everything. Like
Mm.
I think I'm actually disadvantaged because I'm unable to focus. I think someone who can focus, have extreme focus, can really get far in life. And I guess people with ADHD they're fucked. Are they all entrepreneurs? And
They're
they're the
on
ones
Twitch.
ultimate. Yeah, are they the ones that are like
Yeah.
basically running the show, like managing everything? I do wonder how many ADHD entrepreneurs are out there because they can't
Yeah.
specialize. Well, it's super hard for them to get a degree, according to my friend who has ADHD. She's like,
Oh yeah.
she got a master's, and she's just like, my doctor told me like not many people with ADHD can get a master's because it's so hard to focus. So maybe ADHD
Yeah.
people are like meant to be entrepreneurs. I'm starting to
Mm.
wonder. I'm starting to wonder. It's like we seem to have these different roles what am I good at? I can't really focus. Is it because I'm sort of chill and I'm empathetic that makes me a good natural leader of people? So like a good middle manager? I wonder if I'm been born to be a good,
Well,
yeah.
musician, it sounds like
Mm,
pianist.
there's that too, yeah. So I guess maybe the creative side, maybe that's what I offer the world is my creativity and
Yeah,
my artsy stuff. But
yeah,
it's like what can we bring? What value can we add? And why does that even matter? I think it just ties into our programming. It's like we need to we want to be
mhm,
validated, we want to be accepted, and to do so is to offer value to others. It's
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. Good thoughts.
You gotta
Well,
go?
I gotta head. Yeah, I'm headed out to a hot tub.
Oh, enjoy.
Yeah,
That's great, man. All right, catch you later.
yeah. I'll see you.
Bye, buddy.
Bye.